Hello, welcome to Hump Day with Charming Charles and myself. You feeling better, buddy? Hey, you can't hear me, huh? Your earphones aren't working? We aren't playing games on you. I am talking to you, so you're probably going to have to switch. Let me text Charles, as we're having some technical difficulties right before we got started.
There we go.
There he is. He's back. He can hear me now. The hearing aids, the batteries have been recharged.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, indeed. So how you feeling, Charles?
Better? Feeling good. Yeah, feeling better.
Good. Yeah, yesterday, kind of a tough day at I knew it was going to be that way too at Parks. Big field, sloppy track, just going to be mayhem, and that's what it was today. And I didn't really have any key horses yesterday. Today, I found a few on this card that I like. Charles, how about you?
Yeah, I have 3 races that I really like, and they're all together. So I use them in a lot of like pick 3s, pick 4s, and 5s and stuff like that.
So you put them all together, hoping to cash in, and then getting a little bit more spread out on the back end. Last night, always fun guest, Hannah Leahy. She joined our good friends Sean and Jamie on Horse Center. If you didn't catch that, Hannah is really a fantastic guest. She's got a lot of funny things to say. Very enthusiastic young lady on the way up down at Oakland Park. Fortunately got hurt, a little bit of a setback, but one that's easy to root for. If you haven't checked that show out, go do it. She's going to make you laugh, I promise, and make you smile too. Another one that's entertaining that we had on before will be on tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. That is Miss Boone. I forgot, Electra Boone. I knew her name, and then I just forgot for a second. Do you hate that as an old guy, Terry? Terry. Here I go again.
Yeah, see, I'm better looking than Terry.
According to who?
Well,
the blind?
Me. Hello.
Indeed. Yes. They even made a Muppet after you. That's how handsome you are, Charles.
Yeah, that's right.
For sure. So make sure you check that out tonight. Electra, very straightforward guest. She's had a lot of success in the horse racing business as well in the social media world. So she's we had her on before, Sean and I. It was very, very fun conversation. So that'll be tonight at 8:00 Eastern. Best way to make sure you do not miss any of that is to hit the subscribe button here on YouTube. Follow us on our social media sites. Our goal is to get to 10,000, and hopefully you'll join us in achieving that goal. We greatly appreciate everybody's support. The more people who support us, the more content we'll be able to bring. And we got some good stuff. We had a little planning session last night. You can expect some really fun stuff, I hope, anyway, starting in February. You ready to get started with horse racing in January, Charles, on the 4th day of this new year?
Ready to rock and roll.
Yes, indeed. Well, we got to get things cooking, man. We got to get back into the plus column. Last month, all of us combined together for a positive return. So we got to make sure with our $100 budget, we can make that happen again in this shortened month of February. Race number 1, my friend Charles. Hold on one second. Let me pop up the good stuff there. Good morning, Melvin. How are you today? Thanks for joining us, my friend. Hope you're having a fantastic hump day. Maybe our picks can make it a little bit better. And of course, if you have any ideas, any picks you like, any angles that you really appreciate, we had a comment yesterday. Someone picked out that 14 that won at like 9-1 yesterday at Parks. And I mentioned, if you got a pick, you like it, put it out there. Don't let us or anybody else talk you out of it. If you feel good about it, make that play. Let's see if we can feel good about race 1, Charles. 7.5 furlongs on the turf. Looks like it's nice and sunny down there. The turf is firm. A lot of these races are on the synthetic today. What do you see first off, Charles, in the early pace and the simulation odds that might catch your eye?
Well, simulation actually pace. The one horse has got basically a 68% chance of having the lead at the quarter pole. And then you have the 4 horse that will be challenging that horse most likely at just slightly over 32%. Everyone else really doesn't show on the simulation that they have the speed to do that. And then when it comes to the simulation odds, there's basically only 2 horses here that are overlays, which is the 7, almost 5-1 odds, and the morning line is saying 8. So that's a little bit good value. And then the 9, look, just slightly under even money. And morning line is 5-1.
And neither one of us have them. That's kind of scary. That happened yesterday. So there was a 10 horse that won yesterday. 10-1 morning line, 2-1 was the favorite in the simulation. Neither Terry nor I had that horse, and it went on to win. And we were both just like kicking ourselves for not having it. But to get real quick, If you haven't been here before, we take 1,000 races, we simulate them. And then based upon how many times the horses win those 1,000 races, we create the odds. Over here, we simulate 1,000 races to the quarter pole, and we tell you what percent of the time which horse will be the leader at the quarter pole. So keep an eye. That's what those mean right there. We also do what's called a way to the winner's circle worksheet. I'm going to adjust this starting probably next week a little bit to be more reflective of how I have become to learn things. But real quick, horses that want to go wire to wire, EPs can go wire to wire or within 2 lengths of the leader at the quarter-mile marker. P horses want to be within 2 lengths of the leader at the quarter-mile marker, but they're never wire to wire types. PCs can run close to the leader or close to the back. Very versatile horse. And closers only want to close. I square off the horses that have the most early pace according to the way I do things. That would be the 1 and the 4. And Charles, if you could take away your picks right here and carry us for a second, because I'm being interrupted, and I'll be right back. All right.
Yeah, no problem here. All right. Well, what I came up with in the first race here is my first choice is the 6 horse. The 6 horse is ran third last time out. This is the third time after a layoff, which is my personal favorite angle. And this horse is bred for this distance and everything. So it looks like this was my first choice on that. My second choice is the 2 horse here. The 2 horse ran third last time out. We have a hot jockey in the last 7 days on this horse. Trainer gets 24% on an average on the year. So this horse has got definitely a chance to be in the mix. And then my third choice is the 4. The 4 horse drops in class today. This 4 horse, Dam, the mother, has 2 winners out of 4 starters. One of them is a turf horse, which is good. And this is the first time Lasix. With Lasix, you're going to see today these 3-year-olds jumping on Lasix because most of them were running on 2-year-old. We're not running on Lasix. Mm-hmm. And so you're going to see a lot of that. And anybody that doesn't understand Lasix, it's basically to help them with breeding where it doesn't bleed, where they don't bleed. And I do believe that a first-time Lasix on a filly is a little harder than it is on a colt. It seems like their chemical in their body, it takes the second time for it to do a little bit better overall most of the time. And so that's a little bit lesson on Lasix. My final choice, which is my price horse, is the 5 horse. He's got the tactical speed, second after a layoff, and the trainer gets 22%.
All right. Sorry, someone locked themselves out foolishly, so I had to go let them in. Melvin Torres says he's got a Gulfstream pick 5, 649 in this first leg. He agrees with you at that 6. 4-6. Going to single up the 2 in race number 3. Keep that in mind. And race number 4, the 5, the 6, the 7. And then in race number 5, the 3, the 4, the 9. Good luck. Yes, indeed. We wish you good luck. And that the ticket ends up in the winner's circle. I'm going to start off here in race number 1 with the 5 horse. Charles, that's my first pick. The 7.5 furlong turf race. Only 5 races so far. Early speed in the preliminary races here has been the way to the winner's circle. 8 and out has a very big edge. So far, 3 of 5 winners have come right out there. So we're probably going to really regret not having that 9 horse. Downburst, I think this one could be better in its second race after a layoff and ran a little bit of a Z pattern last time out. The Z pattern is, let me just pull it up on the screen real quick so I can kind of show you what I'm talking about with the Z pattern in race number 1. For horse number 5, you'll see here in the pace figures, it ran an 82 and then a 70. So it dropped a little bit in the middle part of the race and then picked back up again in the back part of the race. So a little bit of a Z, probably V would be the more appropriate way to call that, but I call it a Z pattern. Some other people, call it what you want. But that's one of the reasons why I like the 5 horse. Number 7, Lynn Pierre, second choice, 3 consecutive speed figures in a row. Charles, and you said as a trainer, that's what you want to see, to know that your horse is in good form.
17, yeah, as long as they're improving, it's great. It shows that they're really getting in form.
And since getting that 3rd best speed figure, 17 furlongs of workouts since that November 4th race. So I don't think there's any question that Lynn Pierre is going to be sharp here. Number 6, it's all in the name. I should have made it my first pick too. Rich Gift. I mean, come on, Rich.
Come on.
This horse did improve a lot from race to race through its first 3 starts. Real nice workout between races. I wanted to really rank this one higher just because of its name. Got a great name in there. But the jockey on this one, Jorge Ruiz, 25 times out. Charles, he has as many wins as you and I do. 0 at Gulfstream. And then finally, Kiss Upon a Star. That's a left arrow horse. And again, if you go back to my sheet right here, left arrow horse is something I've created. It's a horse that's usually a closer or maybe a PC or even a pressure type. But its normal early pace figures put it close to the front. This one's also dropping in class in the maiden race. That's a pretty good combination. So it has its normal giddy up and go, will be forwardly placed, and still be able to utilize those late closing legs. Charles, you have any bets here? You don't.
No.
I have a 50-cent trifecta. I'm going to go with the 5, 6, 7, with the 5, 7, with the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, we have a $100 budget. That's why we call it the $100 challenge. Hopefully, our ticket's a winner, and so is Melvin. So much like Melvin, if you have a comment, a question, is there anything that you want to share, please hit us up in the comment section. Give us a thumbs up if you like what you see on YouTube and Facebook. We'd appreciate that. All right, now I think I've gathered my senses after my sprint up the stairs. Good to know that the heart's still in good shape there, Charles.
There you go, man. That was...
You know, when you run up those stairs sometimes, you could be out of breath at the top, right?
Yeah, you can. Heck, just walking up them sometimes.
Yes, indeed. So race number 2 is 5.5 furlongs on the all-weather. It's a claiming $16,000 race at 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta. Early speed is 1 so far. The post positions have been fair from 1 through 7. Get a little bit of a tiny bonus if you have an 8 or up. That's not the case in this race because there's only 7 horses in this field. Charles, this looks like a very competitive early part of the race in this one.
Yeah, you got 3 horses that are over 20%, and with the 4 leading the way at basically 27%. So you got the 1, 4, and the 7 all wanting a challenge for the lead. And, you know, I do believe the 7 is going to probably be the one that's going to get it, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to simulation odds, the 1 horse, you know, slightly a little advantage there, almost 5-1, morning line 6. And then you got the 4 horse. Pretty much the same. He's a 4-1, and he's going up morning line, at 5-1, and then the 5 horse. It looks like the big one, the big overlay is the 7. Is basically going off a simulation odds is 6-1, and he's going off 15-1 morning line.
It looks like our friend Pete Aiello set some proper lines here today.
Yeah. So that's and which like I said, the 7's got the speed, so you got to look out for that one a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, looking at the more recent, the way I calculate the early pace for here, it does look like this one comes down to the 1 and the 5 out of the gates. This race has got a lot of back closing types, so pressure and pressure closer types. I think that could give a little bit of edge to the ones maybe up front if they can run the right fractions, because most of the horses are middle and back. Get to the front, run at a decent pace, and you probably got a chance to win. What do you think is the likely finish when they get to the wire?
Well, I kind of I'm leaning towards the back end and the speed too at the same time. I think I have the 2 as my first choice. This horse does have speed. He can sit just off of him if he has to. 1 last time out. This horse is 6 for 9 on the all-weather. He's been off for 2 months, but, I mean, you're getting a fresh horse here, so, look out for that horse. The 5 horse is my second choice. This horse has got that tactical speed, probably a little bit more on the closing side, but second after a layoff, this horse drops in class today. And then my third choice here is the 6. The 6 ran 3rd last time out. It has some of that tactical speed. This horse has been hot at the claim box 8 times, in a year. So definitely a horse to watch out for. The 7 is my price horse, and if it goes off those morning lines, that would be a nice price horse. It drops in class today. Definitely has the speed to do what she wants with it. Chantel's on it, so she does really good with the speed horses, I believe.
Yeah, good friend of the show too, Chantel. Hopefully we'll catch up with her in a not too distant future with some of that content that we were talking about for February. Looking at my picks for the second race at Gulfstream Park, I like number 6. Drinks on Me. Yeah, I feel like horses have to show that they can run well on that all-weather track. And certainly, some horses just don't like it, it seems like to me. I know Chantel had told us that it's really quiet out there. Maybe the horses can't hear the other horses coming, so they're not as responsive. I don't know. So I'm certain that they use their senses to figure out where they are on the track. But Drinks on Me has been on that all-weather 16 times, won 9 of them, which is, I think, a pretty good number. It's got a 2nd and 3/3. First off, the claim for trainer Laura Cazares. She's won 5 of 13. Doesn't claim a lot, but when does, very successful the next time out. Number 2, Island Magic. Top last race speed figure. Was on a roll before this horse went to the sidelines for a little bit of rest. But in the meantime, has plenty of good workouts along the way back to the track today. Number 4, Queen Calypso. This one drops in its 2nd race off of the bench. And if you look at the mid-pace numbers, made a really nice big mid-move last time out. A lot of times in these sprints, as you're coming out of that turn, that mid-move determines who wins and who loses. Another big mid-move for Queen Calypso could be the difference here today. And then finally, number 5, Dancing Doll. Of all of the remaining horses, this one has the best all-weather numbers. You're not going to put together any picks here, but I'm going to do a pick 4, Charles, because one of my key horses is coming up. I did put something with it, but I'm going to go 2, 4, 6 in the first leg, so race number 2. The 1, 2, 3 in race number 3. The 5 and the 6 in race number 4. In the 1, the 2, the 3, in the 8 in the 5th spot. You ready to move on to race 3?
Let's move on.
And let's move forward. Indeed. Race number 3 in Gulfstream Park today is 1 and a 16th mile on the all-weather track. It's a claiming $12,500 race. 9 winners of 3. Lifetime. The purse here is $24,000 at a mile and a 16th on the Tapeta. It does favor stalkers. The rail gets a little bit of a small discount. And 2 and out, those horses, the post positions, there really doesn't appear to be a bias. As I look through this, Charles, it looks like there could be great value in this 7 horse.
Yeah, look at that value. I mean, that's big time value. And I have them in my picks, but not as my first pick.
Then that was like your dating, like your pickup line when you were younger. Please call me back.
Oh, you're killing me. It looks like when it comes to the speed simulation, it's a 2 horse. 2 horses are going to try to go for the lead, which would be the 1 and the 8, both over 30%. But you have a couple of horses that might pick up the pieces if either one of them want to sit in the gate after they open up the doors. Mm-hmm. So the 2 and the 4, kind of like to show at least their pressure, pressure the pace. So, and like you said, when it comes to the odds, the 7 is probably the biggest value, and probably is the value of the whole race.
Yeah, when I see a lot of horses in green like this, I expect a little bit of pace up front. It's probably going to be, I think the tempo is going to be at least fair, maybe fast when I see something along those lines. And again, our way to the winner's circle worksheet, it's almost the exact opposite of that, because you see so far with these horses, almost all of them have wanted to close. The 4 horse is the only one that's really shown that it wants to be on the lead. The 8 horse is usually one that wants to pressure the lead. Once again, here we find a closing horse that so far in its career has done its winning from coming off the back. This horse has a plus advantage through the early pace, through the first half mile. It has some of the best late pace numbers in the field. And if you combine early pace and late pace, the 2 horses, the one that's most likely to run the most complete race. And that's probably why both of us have it as our top pick.
Yeah, this race, I would tell you, if you're wanting to claim, to hold your money on this one, because I think this is a fire sale on the 2, but I think the 2's the winner. The 2 drops in class, tries dirt today. Brown and Irad combo, what kind of most can you ask for? And I do believe this horse has that tactical speed, to sit off of whoever wants to take the lead. And I think the horse is very, very dangerous here. My second choice here is the 3. The 3 ran
quick
third.
Question. Do you find it interesting that you're seeing Chad Brown put his horses in parks, put his horses at Gulfstream? It seems like he's starting to spread his wings a little bit.
I know. I was noticing that actually yesterday too. It's like, yeah, it's kind of interesting that he's moving out. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with that if the races are fitting his horses. That's what shows me that he's trying to take care of the horse and the owners at the same time.
Mhm.
Hey, run them when they're ready, where they should be at, and that helps the owners in the pocketbook.
Hey, Andy, how you doing today? Go ahead, Charles.
All right.
Carry on.
All right. So the 3 horse was my second choice. Ran third last time out, second after a layoff, and this horse I believe will be closing. The 7 horse drops in class today, will be closing, and he got a hot jockey the last 7 days on this horse, and he's cutting back in distance. And then I got the 4 horse as my price horse. This horse ran second last time out. I think this horse is going to be one of them that's going to be challenging for the lead and drops in class today.
In race 3, I'm going to start with the 2 horse as well. Digital Software. It is my left arrow horse. Trainer Trad Brown, as we mentioned. He wins 39% of the time with horses in claiming. My only question for this horse is it's not run on the all-weather track before. Number 3.
I think they're running on dirt.
This one's on dirt. I had it listed as all-weather, so maybe they are.
I'll go back and look, but go ahead.
Let me see. Race number 3. Maybe they are running on dirt. No, it's all-weather for sure.
It's all weather. You're right.
Yes, that was that's okay, Charles. I mean, I sometimes I make mistakes, very rare, but I do make them. If you watch the show, you'll know about plenty of them. Anyway, is that left arrow horse? The only question for me was the surface. Number 3, another Duke, 3 consecutive speed figure increases in a row. There we see that again, and it is an alpha angle. If you read the book from Barry Meadows, the skeptical handicapper, did tie for the top last race speed figure. And this is one that might improve in the second start off the bench. El Socio, the 1 horse, won his only race when he tried the Tapeta 2 races ago, and that was a big win, 5 1/4 lengths. So a horse that clearly took to the surface. If he can repeat that effort here, could be one that's a winner at a decent price. Number 7, again, Charles pickup line back in the high school and college days. Please call me back. Distance won't be a problem for this horse. It's going to be running like 2 miles and stuff like that. So my only question is maybe is 2 miles too short, Charles? And the horse is, a mile and a 16th too short.
Yeah.
My question here is, again, all weather. If you look at that line, it's 0 for 3. Been on the all weather 3 times. Hasn't collected any check for a top 3 position. But if you do a little bit deeper digging, you see that its race numbers were better than any of the other horses that were left. My only other consideration here was the 4 horse. And speaking of 4, I have a 50-cent trifecta here as my bet. 1, 2, 3 with the 2, 3 with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 because I do not have a key horse in here.
And did Melvin have a single in this race, or?
And his single was in race number 3. Indeed, it was the 2 horse, the one that we both like. So we're on board with you there, Melvin. We agree that 2 horse is the one to beat. And I think you're right. I think Chad Brown's trying to either collect the check for the owners so they can pay for the barn bills, or they're trying to sell that horse, and maybe that's one where they can get the best chance to win and sell the horse.
That's what I think.
All right. So I think we're going to go on to race number 4. It's 1 mile and 3/16. This one is on the all weather for sure. It's a maiden special weight for $84,000. There's a scratch here. Number 2, the most wanted man, is not going to be involved today. So that shortens the field to just 6 horses. And it sure looks like that 5 horse, based upon what they've done so far, it's going to get to the front and might be hard to catch, Charles. What do you say?
Yeah, look at that. I mean, we're talking basically 67% chance at the quarter pole. I do have him in my pick, so I do believe he's going to be out in front. And then when it comes to simulation odds, it's still the 5. So that looks really good. And everyone else, that's the one. That's the value.
The speed. The question is the distance, right? And as we look at our
first time we're out,
our pace setup here, you have the 3 horse. We're at race number 4, right?
Yes.
Where in the hell did I put race number 4? I guess did I not do race? Here it is, up over here in the corner. All right, there we go. So this is kind of interesting with this 5 horse. Again, none of these horses have ever shown that they have really taken to the lead. The 3 and the 7 have been pressure horses, but I've never seen this before, Charles, honestly. And I know it was only its debut, but in its debut, it had a 20-point advantage over everybody else at the quarter-mile marker. Every 5 points equates to about one length. So a 20-point length means 4 lengths, Charles, and that's its normal running speed. But check this out: at the half-mile marker, it had a 33-point favorite advantage over everybody else. That's 6.5 lengths. This horse at the half-mile marker could be 6.5 lengths ahead of everybody else. Now, I personally would freak out if I saw him that far ahead of everybody else, because now I would think the fractions might be a little too sharp, and no need to be 6.5 when you could be 2.5 in front of everybody else and saving some time as you head for that finish line. But how do you see it when they do end, Charles?
Yeah,
Anybody going to run that one down in your view?
Well, they have a chance of running him down because they are going a distance. If they were going shorter, I would say there's no way they would catch that horse. But they're running that distance that it's a question. It's a question mark there. So I do have the 3 on top. This horse ran third last time out. This horse drops in class. Blinkers are off, so they're wanting him to settle down a little bit. And you got some solid works in this horse. Then I have the 5. It's basically his race to lose, basically. But, like I said, that distance. Todd gets 23% when he puts him first time in a route. So that's a good percentage. This horse drops in class. And here's the key to this horse: first time gelding.
So he's going to be mad because they don't want him cutting nothing else off.
He's all angry now about things.
Yeah, Andy Bacone, she'll like that horse because it's missing something.
Yeah, and there you go. And then the 6th horse is my third choice. The horse drops in class today. I do believe this horse would be closing. IRAD's on this horse, and you get third after a layoff, my favorite move. And then my price horse of the bunch is, I don't think it's really much of a price, but the 7 horse ran third the last 3 times. He's trying the all-weather track. Grand Motion gets 25% going from turf to all-weather. So that's a pretty good angle.
It is indeed. Well, this is a mile and 3/16, so almost a mile and a quarter on the all-weather track. They haven't run any races, so really tough to tell what's going to be the winning running style. I haven't seen a horse with that big of a lead, and they're stretching out, so it's probably going to even more emphasize the 5's early pace, Patel Road. At some point, they're all going to have to pass this one. I feel like if they go out and run decent fractions, I think it can go wire to wire, and they'll never come close to that horse. If not, number 6, Timo, 3 consecutive speed figure increases in a row. In the last race, it was its career best, and it was the first time around the track on all weather, and that was at Turfway Park. And it has the top late pace, so if anyone's going to run it down, I think it's probably going to be the 6. If not, number 3, Charles's first pick, Hitting Bombs. This one has not tried the all-weather track yet, but if the efforts resemble his fast track on the dirt, the numbers are consistently high. So I think the horse will be very competitive in here relative to everything else. And then number 7, the same as you, Charles, my final choice in here, Mesoria, Grand Motion, as you mentioned, winner 1 out of 4. And it wasn't just 4 races. I think it was like 50. So 25% winner when he takes a horse from turf to all weather. And that's pretty good. Hey, Tafum, how are you? We gave you that 10 horse yesterday. You were looking for a banker, and it banked, even though I thought maybe the 6 horse. But all of those who banked on the 10 were very happy the way that 6 horse started at Parks yesterday.
Yeah, somebody even texted you about it.
Yeah, Charles. Yes, again, the Muppet Man coming after me when he gets one right. So now it looks like we're going to – hold on a second. I had a bet, and you had a bet, so go ahead and run through your bet here.
Yeah, my bet. I'm going to start with the pick 3. I'm taking all 4 of my horses here, and then I'm singling each the next 2 legs. So we're in the area where I'm getting my top 3 picks in, and then I'm tri-box here. I'm just boxing all 4 horses, trying to get the price one up on top.
Beautiful. I have a $1 double. I don't think they're going to run down that 5. I'm going to go 5 with all and hope to catch a price on the back end. And I'm hoping that 5 does go off at 3-1 morning line odds. I don't think it will, but if it does, certainly will be a positive right there. So Tafum wants to say, God bless us and he loves us. We thank you. We appreciate you joining us, Tafum. Have a fantastic Wednesday in, I think, Turkey, right? If I remember correctly. All right. Race number 5, Charles, is next on the list for us. So we're going to head off to the 7.5 furlong on the turf, just like we started the show. 7.5 furlongs for optional claiming 35,000. The purse is 39 grand at, 7.5 furlongs. It does look to me like, let me pull this sheet back up. I pressed the wrong button, Charles. That happens sometimes. At 7.5 furlongs. Come on, computer, cooperate.
There you go.
Only 5 races, has favored early speed so far, 8 and out. So Crimson Princess, Inqueta, and Mersal could have a post position advantage. 3 out of the 5 winners in the 5 races have come from out there. Charles, again, it looks like the 3 horses, the one they're going to have to run down, and you don't think they're going to, but take a look at the simulations, and what do you think?
Yeah, you're looking at basically 46% chance he's going to have lead at the quarter pole, and I believe he will, even though they show here that the 8 has a 30% chance of doing the same thing. But you know what? I don't think they're going to catch the 3 when it comes to the speed on front end. Now you will look at simulation odds. Look at the 3. Slightly over 2 to 1. Morning line is 6 to 1 odds. So you know what? I take it every day.
So Tavon wants to know your bankers today, Charles. They're coming up apparently because you have a couple singles coming up. I had one for the 10 yesterday. Barry says, yes, thank you for the 10 yesterday, Charles. And you can thank the 6 and the horses around the 10. Otherwise, I think that 6 will blown right by.
I don't think so.
That's part of horse racing, man. The start, the run, the trip, everything. It's all included in there. All right. So as we look at our way to the winner's circle here, Charles, for race number 5, right? Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm. This is pretty much a well-balanced race because you have 3 horses that want to be on the front, 2 in the middle, 5 in the back, a lot of closers, but the closers really haven't shown a lot of closing ability. So I think you're probably going to find the winner in this group of horses right here. This 3-horse, Charles, as you mentioned, does indeed have a good early pace advantage. Through the first quarter mile, 6 points, so maybe a length, depending on what the jockey wants to do. But that extends out to 13 points at the half mile. So I think you're going to see him make a little bit of a move going into that turn and then try to blast off for home. My internet's acting funky again, so if I go like this, Charles, please go ahead and use your back. Carry the show.
All right. I'm always doing that with you anyway. My back's terrible. Anyway, I really think the 3 is going wire to wire here. This horse drops today, has the speed. The adds Lasix. This horse is very well bred. This is one of my 3 races that I really like, which is the 3 here. And then my second choice here is the 2. The 2 adds Lasix also today. Trainer gets 27% with the first time Lasix. And this horse also won last time out. So this horse has got a little bit of a shot for the piece of the pie. And then I have the 8 as my third choice here. He won last time out. He has some of that tactical speed. Bred for the grass, first time Lasix. Like I said, we're going to see that a lot in the next month. And then my price horse is the 4. Yeah, won last time out. Tactical, first time Lasix, and tries the turf for the first time. But like I said, I really like the 3 here.
If my mother is old, please help. I need to get married. Well, we'll see if we can do. Indeed, Charles likes the 3. So is this one of your banker horses, Charles?
This is one of my banker horses.
And Sonny does mention Scary Creations. It is very hard to go wire to wire on the all-weather. I wholeheartedly agree with you.
Yes.
And that last race, though, it's just that horse had such a huge early pace advantage that I just think it's going to be on the lead. If it can run comfortable fractions, it's going to be tough for them to catch it because it should be able to dictate the tempo from front to back. And if you have that big of an in-race advantage and you can't use it, then you probably ought to do something else than be a jockey, I feel like. And now that person will never come on Horse Center when they finish second by a minute.
Oh, no, they won't.
For me in race number 5, I agree with you, Charles. The 3-horse is one of my key horses here today. Via Bea drops in class. Last time out, ran for $75,000 in a non-graded stakes. Has all of that early giddy up and go as we talked about. But what I like about that additionally, Charles, is not only does the horse have giddy up and go, but it's getting first-time Lasix. As you mentioned, a lot of these horses are a big theme today. But When you combine first-time Lasix with early speed, I have found that to be a very effective combination because I've seen it over and over and over again where that speed carries longer when they get the Lasix.
Yep, that is true.
Number 8, Crimson Princess. Again, another horse that showed some early speed, getting that Lasix and up their speed figure in both races after the debut. So the horse is heading in the right direction, should be a part of the early speed, and you're giving it, a dose of more energy with that Lasix. Number 1, Another Day Gone By is the third start off the bench. The fractions were much better in that last race, and again, you're going to add in Lasix here today. And then finally, number 2, Pocky. Okay, so they're all getting Lasix here, Charles.
Yeah.
This also increased its speed figure in the 2 races after the debut, and the last was the first time on the turf. So I think you're going to see more out of this horse. Now, you've looked like you spent your almost entire budget here, so take us through the next half an hour of your picks.
Oh yeah, this is where I really start because this is a key horse. This is a 3. So I have a pick 3 with the 3 singled here. I got 2 horses in the next leg, and then my final single in the last leg. And then I start my pick 5 here. I did take 2 horses in this race because the 2 is improving, and I might as well do that because I believe, is the best of the rest. So I did the 2-3 here. I did 2 horses in the second leg, my single in that third leg, and then I started spreading out in the last 2 legs. And then I have a $5 exacta box, 2-3.
And then so that 50-cent pick 5 is 2-3 in this race. In the next race, 6 and 7. So in race number 7, singling up that 4. In race number 8, the 5, the 10, the 11, and the 13. And then closing out the show in race number 9 with the 4, 7, 8, and 9. I'm just going to do a 50-cent trifecta. It helps if I put the dollar amount in there. Otherwise, it's just a guess. And Terry will be angry with me for not helping him with the sheets when he does the auditing at the end of the day. I'm going to put the 3 on top of the 1, 2, 8 over the 1, 2, 6, and 8. I agree with you, Charles. I think the 3 horse looks like a winner on the card today. Race number 6, Charles, we have a couple of minutes, and they're always kind of slow over there in getting the horses into the gates at Gulfstream Park. So let's run through race number 6, and then we'll go ahead and look at what happens in that first race at Gulfstream Park. Before that, we'll put up our picks real quick. Charles likes the 6, the 2, the 4, and the 5. I like the 5, 7, 6, and 4. The 5, 6, 7, 5, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trifecta. Back to race number 6. At race number 6, the number 1, Rosie Holiday, not involved in the 7-furlong race on the dirt course, optional claiming 20 grand. Purse is 35,000 at 7 furlongs. You want a horse that has early speed, a little bit of a discount, not a deal killer if you're the 2 today. Simplify as the real horse. You get a little bit of bonus on 8 and out. Again, that's not coming into play, Charles. 2 horses look like they're really going to get at it once the gates open.
Yeah, that'd be the 3 and the 5. They both have over 40% chance. I think they're going to be battling too. I really do. So they're going to be out on the lead at the quarter pole. For simulation odds, it looks like the 5 is the value here, slightly over even money. Morning line is 3-1.
And then if we, again, way this race shape puts together for race number 6, the 1-horse scratch, which I thought would be a factor in this race, because if you look at this, it is all front loaded. So they're going to really, I think when that gate opens, giddy up and go. The 2, the 3, the 5, the 6 all have very similar early pace numbers. The 4-horse back here, that lone closer, has the top late pace figure. So I do think that it will absolutely pick off some of these horses as they come down the stretch. The question is it an exacta horse or is it a trifecta horse? Well, they're loading right now for the first race, Charles. So let's hold off on making our picks and let's talk a little bit about what we see happening, what's happening in race number 1 at Gulfstream Park. And let's pull it up on my screen. So right now it looks like all but the 8 are in. And the 8-horse goes in along with the, I don't know who that was, the 3-horse maybe. And then, there's one more coming. No, it couldn't have been the 3-horse. It must have been the 2-horse. Now the 3-horse is moving in. I think that completes. Nope, it doesn't. It goes any more. Is this like the clown show in the circus? They're just endless. The 4-horse goes in, and then the 9-horse I think is the last to load. So when that guy goes in, the clown card will be empty. The 400 clowns in the Volkswagen will have finally all gone in.
And the 9 looked a little wet, but
And out they go. So it looks like a pretty clean break. You got 3 horses, the 6, and then on the rail, it looks like the 1 has broken clean. So it's going 1, 6, 5 through the first turn. Again, the 1 horse right on cue. Charles, 67% chance that he'd get the lead. And indeed he does by approximately, I think he's about a half a length ahead of the 6 horse as they turn into the backstretch. It's 1, 6, followed by a whole clump of horses. The 3 is all the way at the back of the pack. 6 horse, the 1 horse at 20-1 moved up to 45-1, Charles. A little bit of a price there. They ran that opening quarter, not all that fast, 24 and 69. So I think that 1 horse has a shot to maybe come in as a price right here, right now, Charles. You think that's too fast?
What's the time?
24 and 7, basically. Well, the 6 is making its move now. So you got the 6.
Not too fast.
And then on the outside, the 8 horse. But the 1 has still got a pretty good hold on that horse. It looks to me like, though, the 6 has a lot of horse left in him. And I think he's going to probably just decide right over here out of the turn to make the move. The 5 is the jockey is a little bit out on that 5 horse, moving to the outside now. So the question is, can the 5 catch that legs? I don't know. That 1 and the 5, it's going to be close down the wire here. Yeah, that 1 is going to hold on, I think, Charles. Maybe, maybe not. It's getting, you got the 3 horse between horses, and at the wire, bang, that 1 horse won, Charles.
Wow.
Can you believe that? Right there it is. 67% chance to get to the lead and go wire to wire. Starting out the card with a 40-1 shot.
Yeah, it was it was 1, 6, and then I think 5 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
How
about that? Sometimes I guess when the horse has that big of an early pace advantage, you should probably just throw him in there for the sake of it, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't see him going wire to wire.
Yeah, well, he just did.
Yeah.
All right. So race number 6, let's go ahead and make our picks. Charles, hopefully we can find another 40-1 in here somewhere in our picks today. So what do you have in race 6?
Okay, race 6. This race, this is one of my races I like because it comes down to 2 horses, and I lean towards the 7. The 7 is my first choice. I think this horse has that tactical speed. He could sit second or third and pounce on them when he needs to. Well bet last time out, back on dirt. So I like the 7 a little bit more than the 6, but the 6 is my second choice. Definitely has some speed. Well bet last time out. Likes this distance. Gets IRAD. So if he gets the lead, you know how IRAD is on the lead. He will do everything in his power to keep it. And then my third choice is the 4. This horse has some of that tactical speed also, which means he could sit right there, second or third, cuts back in distance, second after a layoff. You got a hot jockey in the last 7 days. And then my price horse is the 5, drops in class, has the speed to go with him, and likes this distance.
In race number 6, I'm going to start my picks off with the number 5, American, of course. This horse does have a mixed bag of results second off the break. Strong through the first half mile of its last race. And at Gulfstream Park so far, 11 races, 3 wins, 4 seconds, and 2/3. So pretty good numbers right there. Number 6, Amazing Trip. First off the claim for trainer Cesar Figueroa. He's won 6 of 16 that way. Again, a trainer that doesn't seem to claim a lot. But when he does, the next time out tends to show that he made the right choice there. And I think putting IRAD on the horse for the ride certainly is a clue that they expect big things today. Number 7, Invaluable. Distance makes sense for this horse. Been out 3 times, won 2 of them, and a third. But the odds here honestly make no sense to me at 7-5. But the horse does have 2 maintenance workouts in between. I think that horse is going to be way over bet. Number 4, Elusive Molly is the lone closer, as we mentioned in our way to the winner circle speed sheet here. And it's going to have the chance to chase all of these down. I do think it factors into gimmicks, maybe not the winner, as Tom would say, but certainly one that you have to have in the back end of your picks. Again, you have an exacta, so you do have a bet here?
Yes, the 6, 7, my 2 horses that I'm coming up with is, I think it's just down to those 2.
Yeah, I'm going to just go all here and hope to beat that 7 because I think it's going to take a lot of money. And when you get like the 3 right there, you see 43% chance to get the lead. Who knows? Maybe that 3 gets to the lead and goes wire to wire here and get a nice price because I have a horse in the 7th race that, again, I think is a key horse for me. Charles, it looks like you agree that the 4 horse is the one to beat in race number 7. But before we get to our reasons why, race number 7, this race is a 5 furlong affair on that all-weather track. A couple of scratches with the 5 and the 8. Clay Soldier, Ashford Girl, taking the day off. 5 furlongs on the all-weather track does favor horses with early speed, and there's a very minor outside to inside bias. We can see the outside horses do a little better than the middle horses that do a little better than the inside horses. Charles, another case here where there's going to be one that they're all going to have to pass if they want to win.
Yeah, and they won't catch him, which would be the 4. The 4 is basically 66% chance of having the lead at the quarter pole, and I do believe that to be true. And I don't see anyone within 3 lengths of that horse all the way around. And then when it comes to odds, he's the value horse. I mean, what is he? What would be that 3 to 5 or right around there somewhere?
3 to 5 morning line, and at 53 cents, that's a 1 to 2, so 50 cents.
Yeah, and so you're looking at morning line is 3.5 to 1. So even if it goes off at 2 to 1, that's value.
Yeah, I don't think he's going off at 2 to 1, Charles. I think he'll be even.
That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going to put in my head, and that's what I'm asking for.
And we'll see if you ask. You Charles, your request.
I receive.
You request and you receive, indeed. And let's look and see if that 4 horse indeed has in race number 7. He does have the early pace advantage here in race number 7. Although one thing that is a bit concerning is everybody wants to be forward in race number 7 as well. But you see a horse race that's packed up like this, you do want the speed of the speed. That designation goes to the 4 horse. But most interestingly with this 4 horse, Charles, not only is it going to get to the lead, it has the most late pace as well. You combine early speed and late speed, it has a 9-point advantage over everybody else. So maybe not 3 lengths, but close to 2 lengths when they hit that wire. That's the way I see it. We'll see if it indeed plays out that way. It's also the way you see it. Tell us why you think it will play out that way.
Well, has the speed to go wire to wire. I do believe he's going to win by 3 lengths or more. This horse ran second last time out. You add Lasix to this horse, and my favorite angle of them all, 3rd after a layoff. So this horse, everything says go, and that's what it's going to be. The 5 horse is my second choice here. This horse is 2 for 2. He's got some of that tactical speed. He does move up in class, but that's okay. I mean, you keep on winning, you got to keep moving up. So that horse has got a shot for the bottom half of the exacta. And the 1 horse is my 3rd choice. Does have some speed to go with him. Adds Lasix. I rad today on him and ran 3rd last time out. And then my price horse here is the 3. Ran 2nd last time out. Casey gets 15% when they're 46 plus days off. Cuts back in distance and gets tired.
So the 1 horse, the 1-6 exacta paid $264.10 for a buck, Charles. And I've noticed most of the time, especially when I do these contests and you're looking for horses, because you have to have long shots to win these
you have to,
contests. Yeah. Almost always when you see a price win, it's a horse that gets out to the front and stays out to the front and wins. Maybe not wire to wire, but certainly forwardly placed and then is able to get to the finish line first. In race number 7, our picks are in exactly the same order, Charles. I know now that you're absolutely 1,000% the hacker in my computer.
Well, you see that
you are malware, my friend.
I've been hitting winners, and you finally decide, I got to go with something.
Yes, I have to back Charles. And if Terry comes online and says he likes the 4 horse, well, damn it, you better bank on it. The 4 horse defended, ran the top last race speed figure, has the most late pace, very strong edge from beginning to end. Gets first-time Lasix with early speed. Just a whole lot of reasons to think defended will be tough to beat here. Clay Soldier, unbeaten in 2 races, both of which are on the all-weather, and both of which he pulled away at the end. So certainly I think one that's going to have a robust effort today. Le Boyana. This one could be better in the 3rd race after a layoff, and we'll see if the first-time Lasix helps that classic handicapping angle. Irad riding too. I think that's a positive. And finally, Strokes, 3-horse, comes in from Woodbine. All weather numbers are better than the rest, but I haven't seen a lot of these Woodbine shippers doing all that well lately. So maybe this one can break that mold. You're going to put some of your bankroll here on this guy, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to win on 25 to win on the 4, and then I'm also doing a $2 double 4 to the next race to my top 4 picks, which is the 5, 10, 11, and 13.
What's crazy about that, Andrew, is if you're here for that first race, over here we do 1,000 simulations, and the 1-horse had basically a 68% chance to get that lead, got that lead, and never gave it up. So if you wanted to just bet flat out speed, the one that's going to get to the front and go wire to wire, that's probably not a bad idea, because at every track every day, about a third of the races go wire to wire, Charles.
Yeah, I would say that'd be a good percentage. Yeah.
Yeah, so when you get some really high odds like that, hell, all you need to do is collect one like that. In
Yeah.
race number 7, I'm going to go ahead and, we already went through that. I'm going to do a pick 3. I'm going to single the 4-horse here. So another horse that you and I both agree on, the 3 in the last race, the 4 in this race, as horses that look like winners. So I'm going to do 50-cent pick 3, 4 over the 5, 6, 10, 11 in the next, over the 1, 2, 4, 7, and 8, and hope to catch a price on the back end of one of those horses and give myself a nice payout. And I can get myself over that $100, get a positive ROI today. Race 8, next up, Charles, with 2 races left to go on the Gulfstream Park card. This one is a mile and a 16th on the turf, claiming $20,000 for a purse of 28 grand. A mile and a 16th on the turf. You want a stalker or a closer. There is a very strong inside 3 bias. 4 through 7 tend to play a little bit under par. 8 and out is fair. I think with that 4-horse scratching, sassy but smart, it throws the gates wide open as to who's going to probably be on the lead. And it doesn't really look like there's a tremendous amount of value in this race.
No, there isn't. And then you would have to redo the simulation too to really see the real values. But right now, the 5 slightly of value, and the 8 is slightly of value in odds. But like you said, when you redo everything, it might come out a little different.
Yeah, I'm working on the ability to do it in real time, so to speak. The 4-horse is definitely out, and that absolutely influences this race, because it was going to be on the one on the lead in a field full of horses that wanted to come from off the back. The 12-horse was also, I think, a really key contender in this race. It is out. I think the one that's really going to benefit from all of this action here is the 6-horse. It looks to me like it might have the most early speed, but it's also got some closing ability. So I would expect the 6-horse to sit right behind the 8 and the 13, maybe the 2, run 3rd or 4th. Try to be patient and then use some of those late legs to go ahead and carry it home. 10 also has some late ability. So I think this race is wide open, Charles. This is one, because I don't have a key horse, I will just do my standard trifecta bet. And do you agree it's wide open?
Yeah, I do. And it looks like you were in my computer again, and you just had to switch the last horse, just where it didn't look so obvious like it was last time.
I think it's the other way around.
And then the 10-horse is my first choice here, because I do believe he has that tactical speed, and he's more on the closing side. He drops in class today. You get Irad second after a layoff. So I think this horse is dangerous. The 11-horse is my second choice here. Ran 3rd last time. Well bet last time. Maker gets 17% overall. And then the 5-horse is my 3rd choice here. This horse was claimed last time out. Trainer gets 18% first after a claim, and then the trainer gets 12% with 46 plus days off. So you get a fresh horse after the claim. You know, they could have dropped this horse and they didn't. So it says a little bit of something there for this horse. And then the 13, which is, I believe it would be on the lead, ran 2nd last time out, drops in class. So I think the 13 is the leader in this race.
Andrew asks us, Charles, who's your best bet of the day? Because his buddy's got a $200 risk-free bet with TVG today. So would you say it's the 3-horse in race number 5 for you, the 6, or the 4-horse in race number 7? It looks like you bet the 4 to win.
Yeah.
You didn't bet the 3 to win.
I didn't bet the 3 to win, but I think they're pretty equal, but I would lean towards the 4 in the What is
in,
the
in
seventh?
the in the seventh race. Yeah,
I would lean
yeah.
towards that one.
I think the horse that has the biggest in race advantage is this
Is
five
the
horse.
three? Yeah.
Well, for me, in race number 4, that 5 horse, just like we saw with that 1 horse, is going to have a tremendous early speed advantage. But it's stretching out for the first time, going long on the Tapeta. Maybe the speed won't hold up. You and I both agree on the 3 in race number 5 and the 4 in race number 7. So I think those 3 horses right there, you're going to find at least 1, maybe 2 of those that win.
And actually, if you really break them all down, all three of them, they're all going to go to the lead. All three of them.
Yeah, so that's a good, strong possibility. Those were the ones I like the most. So Charles and I both agree on the 3 in race number 5 and the 7 in race number 4. In race number 8, we both like. I get 7. Yeah, I know. Me and my. So we like the 4 and 7 and the 3 and 5. There we go. So
There you go.
Finally get the old man cobwebs out. Too many hits in the head growing up. First, my mother, to correct my behavior, and then sports, right? And then, of course, just getting old and falling down. In race number 8, I like the 10 horse too. As you can see, Charles, he basically stole my picks. But Daniel's son, a little Karate Kid reference. How about that? Did you catch that?
Yeah.
I just caught that now. Could improve in the second start in its career. Does have a nice workout between races. Exalt. This guy will be rolling late at Gulfstream Park. The grass record, 5 times out, 1 win, 3 seconds, and a third. Gotta like that. Number 5, Monarchs Glen, first off the claim for trainer Orlando Noda, another guy that seems like he's starting to spread his wings a little bit. He's normally an 11% winner, but when he's coming first time off the claim, he wins at 18%. So that's an alpha angle for Mr. Noda, one where he's getting excess return. And then finally, number 6, Lake Mamba. So we start off with a Karate Kid reference, and we end with a Kobe Bryant reference. This one, I think, benefits from the 4 scratching and could be on the front at reasonable fractions or sit right off that pace. I'm going to do a 50-cent try, 5, 10, 11, with the 10, 11, the 3, 5, 6, 10, and 11. And that brings us to the last race of the day, which is race number 9. It is a 5.5 furlong race on the all-weather track, Charles. At 5.5 furlongs, you want some early speed. Post positions are fair. If you wear an 8 or out, you get a little bit of a bonus. The 10 and the 11, Cosetta and My Real Dream, are knocked out of this race. I was going to take a shot with that 10 horse, being one that could be on the lead. But boy, with it being up, that 7 horse might get to the front and say, catch me if you cannot.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to rerun it again, but I have a feeling that the 7 would be even better at the odds of getting at the quarter pole of the lead. And I think he's going to be the leader too also. And then when it comes to simulation odds, I mean, you would have to rerun it again. So I don't know if it would be true this time. A little bit of an overlay on that 7 and the 8. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. But those are 2. I have them both in my picks, so I think they're both very playable horses.
Indeed, they are playable. And if you look at this race shape again, the 10 and the 11 are out. These guys were in the back. You got a couple first-time starters over here with the 1 and the 4. Most of this race, the 3 and the 6, interesting to me because if they can get to the front, they're not going to have a whole lot of problems having to run too fast. Although the 7 horse, as we mentioned, probably the one that's going to get to the lead, could get to a comfortable lead, also has the 3rd best late pace in the race. The only question for me is it's running at the same level, the 8, the 5. You got a couple class droppers in here, which I think is important. And you just don't know what these 2 first-timers are going to bring. So these type of races, as we saw in the first one, they can be wide open and bombs can hit, Charles. I don't know that we really have a lot of bombs in here, but let's at least talk about why we agree FIA first is going to be first.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think he will be on the lead. But then once again, like you said, we don't know about the 1 and the 4, what their running style is going to be. But I do believe the 7's going to have the lead, so it'll be hard to catch. This horse ran 3rd last time out. You got a hot jockey last 7 days. This horse was claimed last time out. Adds Lasix and the blinkers. So we're trying 2 new things on this horse today. And then the 4 horse, first-time starter, as my second pick. The dam, the mother has 1 winner out of 1 starter. And then you got a hot jockey trainer combo. Works are okay on this horse. So I don't know what type of horse he's going to be, but I think he might be more of a tactical type. And then the 8 horse is my third choice. This horse drops in class, as you pointed out, adds Lasix. Trainer gets 33% when it goes from turf to all weather. So there's an angle you got to look out for. And then the 9 horse is my price horse today.
And just like in high school, describes Charles.
Oh, this does 2 beer buzz. uh, yeah, probably still today. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't even drink anymore because there's a 1 beer buzz for me, my man. I would pop the cap and I would start staggering.
Oh my goodness. The 9 horse is my final choice here. Ran third last time out, adds Lasix, cuts back the distance. So this horse has a say too of what's going to happen at the end.
Let's go back 1 race to race number 8. Scary Creation says Laker Mamba and Quiet Out East will both be on the lead in race number 8. Laker Mamba 30-1 morning line with aggressive jockey could hit the board at a big price. And that Laker Mamba is indeed the 6 horse. So he could have a good shot to do that. Melvin Torres in race number 6. We're running back to that. He likes the 3 horse in here. Migaruza, this one is moving up in class from the last start. And that's a long shot there too. And one that can get to the lead and be aggressive. So maybe we can see a repeat of race number 1. And then Cam, you mentioned here that every day there's a pick 6 winner pool in Turkey. If you could, at Horse Race at 8, my Twitter is at HRT Rich. Go ahead and shoot me, if you can, like a list of what tracks it is every day, and then maybe on those days and what races they are. Charles and I can also put together some thoughts on that Turkish pick 6 as we go through our card, if it's the track that we're doing that day. So again, at HRT Rich on Twitter, go ahead and DM me with that, and we'll see if we can, help out. Maybe we can pay for a few Turkish weddings.
There you go.
All right, and the last race for me, I have the 7 horse as well as my top choice. Fia First did top for the top last race speed figure. Gets that Lasix. I think this horse is going to be right off the pace. That Lasix will kick in at the end. Valiant Shishi is the other one to tie for the top last race speed figure. Also going to drop in class here today. I like that combination. And then I'm going to go with the 2 first-time starters, Kavala and Tovia. Kavala gets Irad, so I got to imagine that Mike Maker thinks they got a good shot here. Otherwise, they wouldn't put Irad up on that horse. And then Tovia, I don't really think there's a whole lot to beat behind the 7, the 8, and the 4. So why not give Tovia a shot at 12-1 and see what? Then I think the odds will probably even creep up higher on that one. So maybe go off at a big price. And we've already seen 1 real horse win at a big price. So let's try to make it 2. I'm going to do a 50-cent try, 4-7-8 with the 7-8 with the 1-2-4-7-8 to close it out, Charles. And that wraps up our thoughts today for Gulfstream Park. Charles, do you have any final thoughts before we part for this hump day?
No, everyone enjoy your day out there. And yeah, like Rich said, send us what those tracks are, or you could even send me. I have my email right up there too. BigCasinoRacing@gmail.com. We would love to do that. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, indeed. See if we can become go over to Turkey and have some fun over there. That'd be a good time, I think, Charles. Yeah. If you're going to go ahead and do some college basketball now that college football is over, or maybe some hockey, our good friend Professor Sides from Picks with the Professor, down there's a link below. He will go ahead and let you know what basketball games he likes today. Go ahead and check that out. There's a link in the description below. Also, today, if you're going to be betting at Mahoning Valley, our good friends at Guaranteed Tip Sheet have made Mahoning Valley the free track of the day. All you need to do is click on the link below, and you'll go over there and you'll see in race number 1, 4 horse, Sierra Diamond was the top choice, followed by the 3, 2, and the 1 at 10 horse, maybe Gray Royalty. Good overlay if that first race isn't over. And while you're here as well, we put a link in the description below for the Horse Racing Today gear. Please support the show by hitting that link. Get yourself a t-shirt, a hat. You're going to look fantastic. I can guarantee that. Let's see. Scary. I'd like to, too, go Mika dropping, adding Lasix with the drop. I expect him to be forward. Get a good trip. The first-timers don't have to be world beaters. Not in this race, I don't think at all.
That's why I put the 4 as my second choice. I mean, he's right. Definitely does not have to be a world beater.
No, I don't think either one of them have to be world beater. Not a whole lot behind there. Here are our full picks for the day. One last time at Gulfstream Park. That first race is in with that bomb coming in on top. They're 2 minutes away from race number 2. It's going to start at pick 4 for me with the 2, 4, 6, with the 1, 2, 3, with the 5, 6, with the 1, 2, 3, and 8. Hopefully we can get those horses with the highest odds in order. Charles, all right, man, that takes us wire to wire for today. No matter if you're betting in Turkey, you're betting in Chicago, you're betting in Kentucky, wherever you are, certainly hope. Oh, one thing. Charles and I will be back tomorrow for Aqueduct at same time, 11:30 Eastern. Friday, Tom and I will get together for Maidan in Dubai. That'll be at 1 o'clock Eastern. Saturday, Terry and I will get together to discuss the card at Santa Anita. You're going to want to check in for that. You're going to want to follow our social sites below because we might have a surprise tomorrow night. I'll talk to Charles about that in just a moment, see if he has some availability. So you're going to want to check that out if indeed you're interested in some Thursday night betting. And then that's it, Charles. I think I got it all. Oh, don't forget, Electra Boone tonight, fantastic guest with Sean and Jamie at 8 o'clock Eastern. All right. Whether you're watching Sean and Jamie, you're going to keep an eye on our social sites, hit the like button, follow us. No matter what you do, we hope it, like the rest of our picks today, Charles, and that one horse in race number 1 ends up in
the winner's circle.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic Wednesday. Charles and I will see you tomorrow for some New York racing.